Would you like to add foil to your card designs? Also, would you like to add foil in different ways, maybe not using heat or laminator or anything like that? Stick with me and I'll show you a few different ways. I actually have 8 different ways to show you today, but I counted it wrong. So you see some weird numbers on your screen in a minute. I can't count, I'm not good with numbers. But I am showing you the results that worked. We're going to start with transfer gel. And for transfer gel, if you use the transfer duo, you can use either a laminator or your die cutting machine to do it. So you can do it with heat or without heat. Here I'm just attaching a stencil to a card base. I'm going to tape it together because I find that when I don't tape stuff, sometimes it moves. And this stencil is for a slimline card, so it's a bit narrower on the sides than my panel. And I covered it with a little bit of adhesive. So I'm just adding a layer of the Decofoil transfer gel. This one, I've had it for many, many years. I use it a lot, but it lasts a long time, to be honest with you guys. And it didn't dry. It's still great. And I'm just going to add a very thin and uniform layer. I'll remove the stencil, wash it, and let it dry for a little bit. I actually left it overnight because I started working on the other cards and I forgot about this one. But I think you should probably need like maybe 30 minutes if you do a very thin layer, maybe more if you make it thicker. Now, toner printer is our second option. So you can print any pattern, any sentiment, any drawings on your toner printer, and then add foil to it using a laminator. And this is one of the easiest ways. I'm actually using just printing paper here. I'm gonna stick it later to cardstock and I'm gonna run it through my laminator. I'll try first with a folded printing page and I'll put it all inside to try to avoid it moving too much. I tape it as well. So you want your laminator a bit hot. Now, I'll give you the heads up. This one was kind of a flop, and actually everything I tried on my laminator on this day went wrong. So I'll show you at the end everything that went wrong. You can see that I got some overfoiling, and as it went along, I don't know if it overheated. I don't know what it was. I have a few theories. So the printer that my husband has, that is a toner printer, it's not very great, so maybe we did get specks of toner everywhere and I didn't notice. The other option is that maybe it was too hot, so I don't know what went wrong. So you could also use toner-based products. I have these foil mates by Gina K. They're a bit older and several companies have them right now. Simon Says Stamp, every month they come up with some designs. You can just add, again, toner-based foil, run it through a laminator, and you get beautiful results. These ones turned out okay. They didn't get, I didn't get that much overfoiling on them, but there were a few places, a few areas that I missed. And you can also stamp. So I tried 3 different stamps and I tried it 3 different ways so I could show you. All you have to do is use clear embossing ink, and I used clear embossing powder, but you could try other embossing powders that you have. Don't forget to use your anti-static powder before you stamp your image. I found that the images there are more like outlines worked better. Here you can rarely see it, but you see it better once it's embossed and foiled. So I just added clear embossing powder and I'm gonna wait and heat set all of them at the same time. I'm gonna do 3 panels. So this one, it's mostly an outline. That one worked okay. This one, it's more solid stamps and it didn't do great. I didn't get too much overfoiling with this one. The other ones I actually got way more, but it's not the result that I would like. But you know what? I can use even the ones that I didn't like, that I didn't like. I think they didn't work as I wanted them. I think I can still use them. I'll give it a try and I'll show you in the next days if I make new videos using them. I'll show you what I did. I do like the way it looks. It looks a bit grungy, a bit distressed, if you can say so. So I really like the way it looks, even though it's not solid. The image is not very solid. I like it. I don't know. I'm weird. This one is also an outline, but it's not that slim. It's a bit thicker. And I also liked how this one turned out. Also didn't get that much overfoiling. I don't know what happened with the overfoiling, but I'll show you later. So here are the 3 panels that I stamped, and by then the one that I used, the foil gel, had dried, so I'm gonna run all of them through the laminator. I'm just heat setting the embossing powder. Forgetting more words, please forgive me. I'm gonna do all the heat setting, and then I'll cut down my foil. I might not show you. And I start running them in the laminator with the inside of the folded printing page, but I thought it wasn't doing a great job, so then I just ran them through the laminator without the printing page, just the foil and the stamped image, and that transferred better. But you're gonna see that the blue one with the stars, the amount of overfoiling, I think that one I won't be able to save, but we'll see. I'll give it a try. I'll do my best. So here first I'm putting it through with the folded page, inside of the folded page. If you have parchment paper, you could give that a try. Maybe that will give you better results as well. And you can see that it didn't transfer well, but because I had it taped, I could just run it through for a second time and it went way better. I got a tiny bit of overfoiling, but I used my sand eraser and I removed that. It's perfect. I can use it very well. I'll probably make cards with the ones that I like. But here you can see this one didn't work that great, and I actually ran it through a second time and still didn't look that well. But look at the stars. That was a big flop. I don't know why. I don't know if it's because that cardstock maybe is lighter. Maybe. I will have to try it again to tell you. Let me know if you want me to. I can give it a second try. I had never have this happening before, like the foiling not working, getting over foiling. I never had this. I don't know. I don't understand what happened this day. Okay, so hot foil. I have a Glimmer hot foil machine from Spellbinders. You might have a different one. And I have all these foil colors. They have all different colors and patterns. I am going to use the lightest one that gives you kind of a wet look and with a iridescent shine. I am using Hammer Mill cardstock. It's very smooth. Everybody recommends it. The one I recommend as well is glossy cardstock or photographic paper. Those will give you the best results. So make sure that you always choose a smooth cardstock. Now we need those 3 lights solid to start doing it. I am just pointing out here that the last one is still blinking. And what I always do is I remove the docking base and I put it back, and then I'll wait for those 3 lights to go solid again. That will make sure that the platform is very hot and it will give you better results. Here I'm going to show you that in between my plates I already have my shims, because my machine, I haven't I've had it for 5 or 6 years now, my die cutting machine. It's very well loved. So I do need a lot of extra shims, and instead of like testing it each time I'm going to use it, I just keep my shims in between the plates, because then I don't have to figure out every time. Another thing that I recommend is the solid foiling plate, because you do get 2 uses out of each piece of foil that you do. So that has helped me save a lot of time, and it just gets more use out of your products. So I run it through very slowly. The video is a bit sped up, but I run it very slowly back and forth. And then you just remove it, and you might not be able to see well on screen because it's just a iridescent clear shine, but in person you can see it very well. And here's the other one, the proper one. I think this one is the negative. And these are the panels I liked. So this is the one with the rose that I did earlier, the sentiments. Now these are the fails. These are the flops. The stars. This one I also got a lot of overfoiling, and this one with the leaves, but I think I can still use them. The ones with the dots as well, I got some overfoiling. I'm gonna use them no matter what. And this one I tried off camera with the machine less hot, and it worked better. Okay, mirror cardstock will give you a foil look, even though you don't have to foil, so you don't need heat. You can just die cut the images you want and add them to your card. And if you do this, you can actually add dimension as well. So I find that it looks way better. This one, I am going to use the positive and the negative, so I'll get 2 uses out of it. You can also use foil flakes. I have the golden ones. You can use tacky glue that dries tacky, and use that instead of what I'm doing here, but I'm going to use different widths of double-sided adhesive. So I'm going to add it to my panel. You can add it in whatever orientation you want. I am putting it down diagonally because if I make a mistake, it's less noticeable. I am going to alternate the widths, and I'm just going to remove the backing from all of those strips. Add the flakes. You will want to do this either inside of a bag or on top of a printing page because it is messy. I'm not gonna lie to you, it is very, very messy. So all you do is put the flakes on top, and then you're gonna press them down and kind of rub. I use the dried brush to rub the flakes around and remove the excess, and I put the excess back in the tub. A little goes a long way, and like you will get to use like whatever is left again and again until you used it all. I bought this one a while ago and I haven't used it all. If you are in Europe, you can find this one in Saucer and Grain. It's a shop that I really like, and they have good prices, and they always come up with different craft supplies. I know it's not a craft store, but I do buy a lot of stuff there. So here I'm just trying to get rid of the excess with a dry brush, kind of. It's not a soft brush, and I'm also using my paper piercer to go in between the spaces of those strips to remove everything I don't want. That one also gives you a bit of texture, and you can use it with those leaves if you want to. I'm gonna do something else. So keep an eye for the next video. You can also combine adhesive and foil, and then you can use hot foil or toner base foil, it doesn't matter. So I'm using the double-sided adhesive sheets from Altenew. I die cut a bunch of circles from different sizes, and you could die cut any other shapes that you want. I'm just going to remove one side of the adhesive, put the rest down, press it down well with a bond folder to make sure that it's all adhered to the cardstock base that you want. I cut the excess. I also used some of the bits that was past the edge, and I used them again. And here I'm going to start removing the backing and adding the foil. This foil is for hot foiling. It's not a toner one, and it went down great. You see that later I started removing 2 or 3 pieces at a time instead of doing one at a time, and that helps speeding up. But I really didn't want to do the whole panel in one go because I thought it would be messy. And then you can just come back and press down the areas that you think that you didn't get enough foil down, and it kind of fills in the gaps. It gives you a beautiful results. I am very curious to try this with different shapes like stars, maybe hearts, and change the color of the foil as well. I think that could give you like very pretty results. And these are my 7 ideas, folks. Please let me know if you like them and if you would like to see more ideas like this one. Here's the final result, and happy crafting. Thank you. Bye.